Trips that you plan for the next whole week. Been so long for a nigga so cheap. And your flex OD, your sex OD. You got it, girl, you got it. You got it, girl, you got it. Yeah. Pretty little thing, you got a bag and now you...
Y'all, I'm back. So I know I told y'all. Hold on, I gotta get this light together because it's a little bad. Can y'all see me now? All right, y'all, so I know I said I was dropping every day this month, and that is what I plan on doing. So today is day 2. It is April 2nd. Y'all, I just wanted to come here because I just wanted to tell y'all this story real quick before I go out. Something I've been wanting to tell y'all anyway because it just was funny, and it was just like a little situation that happened, and y'all be wanting to hear story times anyway. So I'm about to give y'all one. So it's just something that happened like some years ago to me. Like, it was so crazy. I was young. I was like 19 then. I was young. Okay, look. So back a long time ago, I had a guy who was my best friend, and he hooked me up with a guy that he had worked with. So he was like, oh, you know, this guy, he a nice dude, whatever. So I'm like, cool, like, what's up? Like, first of all, really, he like, oh, he know me. So he got a couple dollars, like, yeah, talk to him. That's really how, which y'all know I gotta tell the truth. So I'm like, all right, you know, link it up, hook me up. So he linked us up, he hooked us up. So we was kicking it. And so like, we went out on a date. He like came over to my house, and then my first time going over his house, like, I had went over, and it's crazy because like, he was a nice guy. Like, he never tried to do nothing with me or nothing as far as like sexual. Like, we just was like really just dating and being around each other. So to make a long story short, my first time going over his house, when I was leaving out his house in the morning, I was getting ready to go, a girl swooped up. Okay, so she swooped up, and she pulled up, and she like, yeah, she like, I knew you was out here. I knew you was doing something. Y'all hear people in the background. You know, I'm in a room with my friends. So she like, I knew you was doing something. I knew you was doing something. And we go together. We go together. So I'm like, y'all go together. Mind y'all, I'm like 18. This man was like, if I'm 18, he was like 38. He was like 20 years older than me. So she had to be like 32 then. So an 18-year-old, 32, 33, that seemed old. Cause I'm that age now, and I'm like, I ain't old. But you know, back then I thought she was old. So I'm like, girl, you old? Y'all too old to be going together. So I'm like, all right, like, I'm gonna talk back to him. So he was very persistent, and he was like, we not together, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now this was in the summertime, okay? So we still hung, we still kicked it, we still was chilling. And we end up still like talking, because he had never showed me nothing as far as like him having a girlfriend, because he was always around me, always at my house. Like, I never had a reason to think that he was like in a relationship with nobody at all, you know. So we went out to eat one day. And then we ended up going back to his house, and my car was like blocking his car in. And by this time, it had been like probably like a few weeks. And he was like, I'm about to just drive your car to the gas station real quick. And I'm like, okay, cool, whatever, not a big deal. So he pulled off and he drove my car to the gas station. So I was laying on his couch, and I was just talking to my friend. And me and her kicking it, we laughing. So all I hear was like a and I'm like, what? Like, what the fuck is that? So I'm looking, so I'm walking around the house now because I'm kind of scared, because like the dude was like, you know, we was in the hood basically, to make a long story short, and I just didn't know like who it was, or like if somebody was there for anything else or something like that. So if y'all, you know, get what I'm saying. So I'm walking around the house and I'm scared, and I'm like, what is going on? So I go to the back, I don't see nobody. I go to the side, I don't see nobody. So I'm hearing this noise. So I'm like, where is it coming from? So now I'm getting scared. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go to the front door. I see like this gold car like pulled up in the front of the house. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on? And I see the car, but I don't see nobody. Now the house is in Detroit, so the way Detroit houses is set up is like basically like the way Detroit house is set up is basically like you walk in the front door. This is a living room. Not all houses, just this house. Like you walk in the front door, it's like a living room. Then like you go through a hallway and it was like the kitchen, all the stuff like in the back rooms. So I open the front, so I'm still hearing this noise, but I see the car now. I hear the noise and nobody's in the back, nobody's on the side, like none of that stuff. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I hear another loud noise, and I look to my left by the air conditioner. The same girl, mind you, when she had pulled up the first time, she was in a whole different car. So when I saw that gold car, I didn't know that it was like her. You know, I'm thinking it was like a guy. I don't know. Like I said, I'm calling him like somebody is at this house. Like you need to come back now, immediately. So this girl then pulled the air conditioner out of the window. She's pulled the air conditioner out of the window. The air conditioner was hanging in the window on the side of the house in the living room. She pulled the air conditioner out of the window, had it on the ground. She stood on the air conditioner and climbed through the window. So as I'm at this point, I know her name because like she like will call him, or like, you know, the situation that had happened before, she had said her name. So I'm on the phone with my friend. So I'm like, I think it's funny because I'm like, why? Like I never seen anybody like crawl through the window or like pull an air conditioner out like or nothing. So I'm sitting there talking to my friend, so I'm telling the girl, I'm not gonna say her name, and she passed away now, God rest her soul. Like she died from surgery actually. But I'm sitting there and I'm telling her, I'm like, you know, we just gonna say Jazz for the sake of this video. That's not her name though. So I'm like, Jazz, you don't have to come through the window. I'm like, you don't have to come through the window. I'll let you in the front door. If you want to come in, like you done pull the air conditioner off the window, baby, I'm gonna let you in the front door. So she like, what? I'm like, I'll let you in the front door. She still wouldn't stop trying to climb in the window. Like she was really, the window was like taller and she was really trying to get in this window. So I didn't open the front door, and I'm like talking to her like through the side, like, girl, just come through the front door. Do you need some help? I'm trying to help her. My homegirl on the phone cracking up, okay? Cracking up. So she basically, you know, she wiggled back out the window and she walked around back to the front, and she came in the front door. So she just talking and, you know, talking all that, the same stuff girls do, like, oh, you sleeping with him, I'm sleeping with him too, you know, or are you having sex with him raw? Cause I am, and all this other stuff. So, you know, like all that was cool. So I'm like, okay, like, well, we here now. Like, we here now, like, you know, at this point, like I said, at this point I was 18, 19, I'm young, and I'm like, well, we here. I like him, you like him. We all go together. And she wasn't his, but she, like, they wasn't together. And it was like, I didn't understand how, like, she was like trying to claim somebody who literally was spending every given moment with me, and I'm just like, I didn't get it. And it was from me being young and naive, because now if like a situation was like that to happen, I'd be like, I'm not even messing with him because of the drama until he get that together, because obviously she still around because you dipping and dabbing with her, you know. But then I wasn't thinking like that. So I'm like, well, you know, like, it is what it is. So that happened and she left. So I'm gonna say, like, maybe like, and we still have problems with her, but like they got into it real bad, and like you could tell, like, I think like he kind of like stopped talking to her. So I don't know if like he started back like kicking with her, because like it's some months later at this point now, and we still like was kicking it tough. Like he still was around, like spending the night at my house every day, everything. And where I was with him, we were just always together. So now, like, she had came back around, and it was just so weird, because I don't know how somebody had popped up on my, like, so she like was calling back again, like months later, like, oh, like with the same we go together stuff, right? So I'm sitting there on Facebook, and it just like, it was right after she was like blowing his phone down. She had called his phone like 40, 50 times in a row, and he just kept like declining the call. And I don't think like people would tip to like do not disturb at that point or like block or whatever. So he just had to keep declining the call and like turn the phone off after like the 50th call. Like he just kept letting it ring. And so we sitting there and I get like on Facebook it was like people you may know, and it was like this lady. And so the lady had his last name. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, so it was a lady, and so the lady, I clicked on her page, and I don't know what even made me click on her page, because I see people you may know all the time, and I never click on their page ever. Like I just don't, because I don't care. Like it is what it is. Unless I really just know them, and then I click and I add them as a friend or whatever the case is. But I clicked on her page, and I'm just scrolling through her page, and I see his son on her page. So I've seen his son before, like, cause like he didn't came and like dropped me off some food, and his son would be in a car or you know stuff like that. And so I seen his son, and so I'm like, okay, like is this his baby mama? And then I noticed their name had the same last name, and I'm like, is this his wife? So now I'm in stalker mode, you know. So I'm like going through all her pictures, going through everything, trying to like piece stuff together, put stuff together. Come to find out, it was his wife. I don't know how he was married, okay? Because I don't even know how he was saying he had a girlfriend, because literally like since like pretty much the day we had met, we were like inseparable. Like we was literally around each other every single day. Even like during the times of the day that we wasn't together, like the couple of hours like throughout the day, maybe from the hours of like 8 to 5 or something, like if I like go work or go do something, like we wouldn't be around each other for like those couple hours, but like every single night we were spending the night together, unless I was out of town or like something like that. It was always like something like if I was busy. Like it was never like him not coming to the house, you know, or me not going to his house. And then he had a house. So come to find out, he was married. He had a whole house with his wife, like. And I knew he took his kids to school every morning, but I just thought he was going like to his baby mama house to take his kids to school. I didn't think that he was going home to his wife to take his kids to school. So now I'm livid, because like he's sitting right here. He don't even know that I'm going through all this stuff, and I'm tripping. Like I'm about to go off on him because he married, and I don't mess with nobody's husband. I don't play that. So I'm sitting here and I'm going through the stuff, and I'm mad because I'm trying to get all, you know you gotta come correct when you come with, you gotta come with receipts before you come with stuff. You gotta come with receipts. You gotta come with it right, okay? Because you can't just be talking to nobody and then they get a chance to run circles around you because you don't got all your facts. Don't go to nobody without your facts, because then they're gonna run circles around you. But if you got your facts, they can't do nothing but bow down and say like, yeah, this is what it is, I'm sorry, or I ain't, or whatever the case is. So I was trying to get my receipts together as we were sitting there. And like we just used to be chilling and stuff. So I'm just going, I'm struggling, I'm just stalking, getting all my receipts, putting my receipts together, screenshot, whatever. Why? Do. Now mind y'all, I told y'all Cuckoo just called like 47 times, okay? So he wasn't answering. So and now I just found this information out, but I still hadn't said nothing. I just still was like just going through the stuff, figuring it out. Like this, all this had happened within like the matter of like an hour. So I'm still going through. So I'm mad with an attitude sitting there, but I'm trying, like I said, pull my receipts together. So now she knocked on the door. I told you we went together and you still gonna mess with him. I hadn't even got a chance to say nothing to him about him being married. It came out to her. He didn't even know I knew at that point, because I just found out 20 minutes prior. And like I was telling y'all, I was trying to get myself together. So he didn't even know that I had knew. So she didn't knock on the door. He didn't open the door. They arguing. She, you know, talking to me, and she like, I done told your young ass and all this other stuff, whatever. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, girl, he married. He married. How y'all go together and he married? If y'all would have saw his face, because he didn't know I knew. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know until 20 minutes before. So, and it just was so crazy, because it was like, because couple days before, I just was like kicking it with a homegirl, and I'm like, I don't really know if I should be talking to somebody like this old, like, then he be having all that drama with that girl, like maybe I shouldn't be talking to him. And then like all that information was placed in my lap within a matter of an hour at a time, like, and all that stuff happened. And I'm like, he married. And she's like, and you know he married? I said, but why you doing all this and he married? And I said, I didn't know he was married. I just found out he was married a couple minutes ago on Facebook. Like, and he was sitting there, so now we both arguing with him, and you know, it just was a mess. Like, but it just goes to show you that, like, men will run circles around anybody. Like, he already had his wife who was in her 40s. He already had a woman that was doing, his wife tripping, because I'm reading her statuses, so obviously you can tell they going through stuff from her statuses on Facebook. She tripping over him. Now you got this 32-year-old tripping over you. Then you got this little 18, 19-year-old, and you trying to make her fall in love with you so you can run circles around her. It's like you just trying to just go down every generation and just have all your, you know, women in one spot. And I don't understand it, but it's cool. That just goes to show you, like, niggas is out here, and that's that. And guess what? To this day, he is still married. He would have still probably been talking to that lady, and he probably would have been talking to somebody else 30 right now. He probably would have been talking to somebody else 20 right now. Okay, so I like that's just that. But I had to get on here and tell y'all that story, because I said I was gonna start doing story times, start telling y'all stuff, like, and that was one of my things. I'm definitely not proud about talking to a married man, but like I said, I had no idea. Like, I knew he had kids. Like, people got kids. It is what it is. Like, a lot of people got kids and not married. But I had no idea he was married. I had no, and people be like, oh, you knew. It was no indication that that man was married, like, at all. Because like I said, from the day we had met, we were inseparable. Like, we was running each other every single day, like, all that. And I was young, so I wasn't at the age to where, like, now I Google people, I do background checks, I do it all. Well, I don't, not because I got a man, because I ain't got to do it anymore. But before, when I was dating, like, I was Googling, doing background checks, everything. Like, because first of all, I need to know who around me, because you potentially could be around my kid, but I just need to know who is in my presence. So I do it all now, but back then, like, I wasn't doing that. That was 12 years ago. Like, I wasn't doing all that when I was 19. And do background checks, y'all, because these niggas have a wife. They have a wife, a hut, another family. They have a white girl in Kentucky, an African in Nigeria. They have a black girl in the city. They have an Indian around the way. Like, you listen, like, they don't care. They be out here, like, they be out here. So I just want to get her and tell y'all that, y'all. I love y'all. Like I said, I'm just waiting for my other videos to just be approved, as far as like with the content and stuff on there. So from the sponsors and stuff, so I will be dropping those coming up this week. But I wanted to do that little story time, and plus, like, this view is beautiful, so I wanted to do like a story time with like a good little view in the background and all that good stuff. So I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. And I'm just geeked about this month. Like, I can't wait. Like, I can't wait till y'all see me start working out, because I'm about to be working out like crazy, and I'm bringing y'all with me every single time and all that, because I want to show y'all my butt so bad. And I got a lot of surgery videos coming up too. So wait until y'all see my surgery videos and these workout videos. Like, so much different content. I know they be saying, like, you gotta get your gist. They was there. Call them. Yeah, call down there. I'm about to call. Yeah, so I'm sorry about that, y'all. So yeah, but like I'm gonna be having a lot of stuff to drop, so I cannot wait till y'all see it. I am super excited. I got some stories to tell y'all, okay? Some of them I might be incriminated in a crime, so some stuff I might have to kind of sugar it up a little bit for y'all, but I don't mind telling y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching once again. This is Delnishaunique. I will see y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Take a trip on it. When a girl who can go slow, wind it up all night.